All right. How do you redeem your points like a professional? Make sure that you are getting the most value out of your points. What is cent per point, cost per point? You probably hear the term thrown around, but how do you get to the determinant of whether the value of your points are worth it? How do you get to that number of cent per point, cost per point? So we are breaking it down. As you can see on the screen, it is the formula. This is what everyone uses to understand their point value when redeeming their points for award bookings and booking with points for their flights. Now, I am not going to dive into the value of each type of airline and how valuable their points are. I think from the beginning, it's massively important for you and just everyone to understand. Just look at it as one-to-one value for now. Once you get deeper in the points game, you can start looking into the value of each point system and how much it is, what that looks like. But right here, we're just going to give you the formula, let you run with it so that you are making good decisions when utilizing your points. So what the formula looks like essentially is the cash cost minus the taxes and fees from that reward redemption divided by the amount of points. So quick example of a flight that I took domestically back home to Minneapolis, St. Paul out of Tampa. The one-way flight was $319. It would have cost me 9,500 points and $5.60 in taxes and fees. There was a 30% transfer bonus at the time, so it really only cost me 7,500 points. What we did, 319 minus 560 gives you 313.40 divided by 7,500, which I use from the points. So I got 4 cents per point in value on that redemption. Quick, easy example. Now, when it comes to the taxes and fees, typically it's not going to be a big issue when it comes to the domestic flights. International flights, they have taxes and fuel surcharges, which isn't something that you're necessarily going to get out of. Depending on the type of airline or partnership or any of that matter, it is going to change and fluctuate the amount of fuel surcharges that are required. Some alliances are going to be cheaper than others, which is why some people may favor those. If you're flying into the UK, for example, the UK is always very expensive for business class and first class flights. It's probably going to cost you $800 to $1,500 in fuel surcharges and taxes eased into your cash cost if you were to pay cash. So those flights that are $6,000, $8,000, $10,000, those fuel surcharges are already going to be a part of that. If you look at your actual receipt, you'll see that those are tailored into the cash costs, but those are something that are always tagged into points redemptions no matter what. That is just a quick example of the formula. Now, for me, everyone always talks about, or not everyone, some people mention that cost per point isn't that big of a deal. In a sense, it isn't if you feel like you're getting a free flight, if you're excited about your flight and it's not that great of a redemption, but you got a free vacation, it's always up to you. It's always up to your discretion. That's totally fine. But this is the best way to determine and just make sure that you're getting the most value out of your points. Make sure that, hey, it might be better for me to hold on to these points and then utilize them later on a better redemption where I get better value out of it. Now, for me, points are like the stock market. This is one place where you can put $1 in, get $5 out. Some instances, $8, $10, $12, $15 out, which is incredible. In the stock market, if you put $100 in and get $500 out, you're pretty stoked about that. That's a massive percent gain. That's a massive profit. This is how points massively leverage and utilize to have these luxury travels for very, very cheap. And it's freaking incredible. I'm not lying. It's amazing. So this formula is just going to give you that guidance. Now let's break down something that would be like an international flight for you guys. So we're not going to break down this. This is just kind of a presentation I did for my community and a couple other communities as well, just kind of explaining points. Let's break down an international flight. So this is going to be an example of an international flight. I helped a friend book for his honeymoon last summer on Air France 777-300ER. Now, this was a JFK to Paris business class flight. The normal redemption was 73,000 miles and $208 in taxes and fees. Already a pretty amazing redemption, but there was a transfer bonus at the time to Air France from Chase for 56,000 points, a ticket, and $208 taxes and fees. Of course, there was two people, ended up being 112,000 points, but this would be an example of what this looks like. Cash cost, $5,800, taxes and fees, $208, and then the points cost would be $56K. So you take the $5,800, you minus those taxes and fees. You could do the same for two people down here. You get 55.92 divided by 56,000 points equals 0.9985. So almost 10 cents per point. Put $1 in, you get $10 out. So that would be an example of that. Depending on the airline and the alliance partner, like I said, it could be even higher. Air France has pretty good taxes and fees, so they're a great option. And they have transfer bonuses fairly often as well. So that is the formula that you can utilize: cent per point, cost per point. This is how you redeem your points like a professional. Make sure that you're getting outsized value out of your redemptions. Hopefully that was helpful. If you're completely new to this, just look at points as 1-to-1 right now. Don't utilize the portals. We're not going to break down the portals too much, but you can always find better redemptions by utilizing transfer partners. We have tons of videos on the channel explaining that. So hopefully you got value out of that. Hopefully that allows you to make better redemptions the next time you do redeem, gives you insight on how to see the value with your points, how you're redeeming them. And as always, feel free to like, subscribe, and hit the comment section of the best freaking redemption that you've ever had, or maybe some of the worst redemptions you've ever had. Or join my free school community where we are tackling all things points and miles, credit, business credit, how you can leverage it to your advantage. We're all networking, collaborating, getting to know each other even better there. It's fantastic to meet you guys outside of the comment section and see you in there. So I will see you guys soon. Appreciate you as always. See you on the next video.